Hi, my name is Richard Gray. I'm the founder of LifeConfident.com. And Life Confident, well, just to give you a quick word about Life Confident, it stands for three things. It has three principles: melt away shyness and social anxiety. Number two, build skyscraper confidence. And finally, number three, build cloud bursting social skills. And that's what we do very well. We've got some powerful, unique tools for doing that. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. What I want to introduce to you on this very first live stream, one of many, I'm hoping to do a long sequence of them, maybe once or twice a week. This first one is probably done on the worst weather day of the year. It's heavily overcast and raining all day long. It's not inspiring weather, so it's good to maybe do a very positive and empowering live stream to counter that. But what I want to introduce you today is a phrase from NLP, and that phrase is, the roadmap is not the territory. Now, I went on an NLP course about, over 10 years ago now, and as I walked into the room for the first time, I think the class started about 9 o'clock. I was there from about 8 o'clock onwards, and so I was in the room, probably one of the first, and I was milling around, looking at the walls, looking at the pictures, looking at the books that have been scattered around, etc. Just trying to look a bit busy, really. And a few other people started trickling in, and more people. And as they did so, more sort of personalities started arriving. There was a loud, bubbly personalities, the extroverts, the talkers, and then there was the quieter ones that were just taking a step back and assessing, getting the lie of the land, etc. People like me who just wanted to have a look at the pictures and browse through the books, and perhaps they just weren't ready to start talking and interacting. They just wanted to acclimatise to the classroom. Now, as 9 o'clock rolled around and the tutor arrived to teach NLP to us, it was a 12-day course, and one of the first things he came out with was this phrase: the roadmap is not the territory, which means basically that the roadmap refers to your own mind, what's going on in your own mind and your own perception of reality, as it's being built by your own history, your own past, the building blocks of your own experiences that have formed your view of the world. And then the territory part of the phrase refers to the actual outer world, the reality of what you see around you. Now, when it says the roadmap is not the territory, what it's saying is that your own reality, your own version of reality, is not the actual reality. You can perceive something in reality, but it might not be true. Now, there's 7 billion people, probably a lot more by now on the planet, and they've all got their own perceptions of reality, and they can see something, see the same thing that you see, and you both see a different version of reality. So what the phrase is saying is, what it's saying really, I think, is to be tolerant of other people and accepting. That was his motivation for introducing us to that phrase to start with, because you've got your bubbly, lively, loud personalities, and sometimes it's the temptation for them to look at the quieter person and then try and impose their reality on the quieter person and try and make them more like they are. If you're a quiet, shy person, then you've probably heard the phrase, why don't you say much? You're so quiet. Why don't you say anything? You should speak up more. You've probably heard that quite a few times. I know I have. And this comes from these people that they're a little bit close-minded. They've never heard this phrase. They don't understand that their reality It's not necessarily someone else's reality. They can only see the world from their own perspective, and perhaps they don't have the capacity or an open mind enough to be able to empathize or see the world through the other person's eyes. And the same goes from the other direction. A quiet person can quite easily say, well, they're so noisy, they're so loud, do they just want everyone's attention? Do they want to be the centre of attention? And it's very easy to be judgmental from that side as well, and to want to impose your reality on them and make them a bit quieter, a bit more considerate, like you. But the point is, this is the point of what the tutor was trying to get across is, don't try and impose your reality on anyone else in the room. Be tolerant of everyone in the room and accept that they've come here from their own world and they're going to see it a little bit differently to you. They're going to come out with things, phrases, terminologies, perspectives, points of views, beliefs that you might not agree with, but those beliefs have been formed from their own history, their own upbringing, transferred from their own parents, etc. Now, beliefs can be challenged and changed, of course, but that was a teaching environment, and it was not one for conflict in such a way. It was one to build, tolerance and everyone getting along in that environment, and you're there for one purpose, to learn NLP. That was the purpose of that class. And of course it didn't say all that in such a roundabout manner. It just came out with a phrase and said, look, be understanding, be tolerant of the other person if they're not quite like you are. And that's just what I wanted to get across to you. You may think, well, that's pretty obvious, really. Or you might think, wow, never really thought about it like that before. And if you haven't thought about it like that before, then that's what you call a little bit of a paradigm shift, where your reality shifts a little bit as you suddenly see the world from a slightly different perspective. And for me at the time, walking into that classroom and sitting down with all the other people, when he started talking about this, it relaxed me into the class, and I knew, yeah, this is a tutor that gets it. He's an open-minded person, and he's going to infuse that open-mindedness into the people in that room, and it's going to be an open sort of learning environment. And I relaxed at that point, and I had a better experience in that class. And if that did that for me, then I want it to do it a little bit for you too. I know you're not in a class now, you're just watching me rambling on a live stream. Sorry about that. That's something I've got to work on and try and say things in 10 words instead of 1,000. So forgive me for that. But that's all I've got to say for this live stream. Next time I'm going to come out with another phrase on the next live stream, and it's going to be a little bit of a bigger paradigm shift, I think. It certainly was for me. It made me think about things in a little bit of a different way when I was talking to other people. But for this live stream, I'm going to sign off now and say thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more, because there's a lot to come. And I'm going to cover stuff on all three elements of the life confidence and philosophy: melting away shyness and social anxiety, building skyscraper confidence, and building cloud-bursting social skills. There's some very exciting stuff, and I want you to stick around and go on the journey with me. Okay,